everyone, it's Libby from Maighstir Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people on whose traditional lands these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Absolute pleasure. Love your comments, keep them coming. I heart them to say I've read them. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments section. Yeah, we're heading for a hot weekend. It's starting to build already. For those in Queensland, take care with the cyclone that's approaching. And keep yourself, everyone else, keep yourself hydrated down this neck of the woods. Okay, what I'm going to have a quick look at is, I was asked by one of my lovely viewers to have a look at the repatriation bill for it's been presented to the federal government, HR 414, presented by Cori Bush, who is a Democrat from Missouri, representative for Missouri, and she is a descendant from slaves. So it's $14 trillion repatriation bill. What it is very briefly, I'm sorry if I'm looking this way, this is where my notes are. There are 40 million slave descendants in the US at the moment, and it's been calculated that those slaves work 222 million hours of forced slave labour under abhorrent conditions. And what this is a bill being introduced to compensate the descendants of those slaves for the wealth that was made off that was built by these slaves. It's an interesting concept because when you look at intergenerational money, being able to give assistance going forward, this was never something that these slaves could do. We're talking slavery from 619 to 1865. It's a hard topic to get your head around unless you really think about the economics of it. But I look at myself, okay, as a white person. I was given some assistance to buy a house by my parents because even though they were self-made, they were given an education, a good education by their parents because their parents could afford to send them off to away from their farming districts to good schools and so forth and so forth. And it goes back. So this is very much about wealth, the undercurrent of wealth. This is not necessarily here, passing on $1 million generation by generation, but the ability to afford a higher education, a higher social status that was then passed on to the generation after. And it was about opportunities rather than physical wealth itself. So, this is, and in all honesty, we have had slavery in Australia as well. It's so important that we are aware of our history. The Australian slavery was ignored for a long time. It's now coming to the fore. So we've got the same situation in our country as well. So I just want to have a look at the how the energies behind this repatriation bill are going to go. Oh boy, I'll get off my little soapbox here. Apparently it's a 23-page bill being presented to the House. I don't feel it will go anywhere at the moment, but let's have a look anyhow. There was a bill introduced, I believe, in 1989. It was, I did write it down, HR 40 was presented, still hasn't gone anywhere, still sitting in the too hard basket in the House, in the federal House. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Now, Cori Bush has said straight up that she doesn't expect the bill to go anywhere, but what it is it's bringing to fore of mind. Now, it's a complicated subject because do you just give these people money, or do you give them free education, or do you give them, as in pay for their higher education, or quite how are these 40 million descended from slaves repatriated. Just giving cash, I don't think, is the answer, but, what is the answer? Let's have a look. Show me the energies behind. HR 414, the repatriation bill brought forward by Corey Bush. Now, I'm using my golden universal tarot because it is a money question. I'm glad I don't have to try and work it out. It's a really difficult scenario to try and have to sort through how, who, what, where, etc. So here we have the signifier. I'm going to say this is representative Corey Bush, even though it's a male in this, but the articulate orator bringing forward an important message. Her speech was fabulous, but let's see where this goes. It is all about stability, security, recompense. Interesting. That's an interesting word. Why have I got that word, guys? But yeah, it is about the. It is about topic of money, but it's not money per se. This is stability, security, healing, nurturing. So it's not sort of just giving money, but this is what this bill is about. In the past, absolutely, totally. The energies behind the scenes was the abuse. The abuse, the stealing, the betrayal, literally slavery, stealing, and the anxiety that's brought forward generations on, generation after generation. It's also very much about, I'm just going to bring you up. It's also very much in regards to the history and the cultural history of these people. I can trace my generations back, 3, 4, 500 years. I know where I came from. I know the culture of where I came from, and it gives me, as a squeaky white person, a real sense of identity. These people who were taken from their homelands, in Australia, we have what's called a return to country for our young First Nations people, where they are taught their cultural history, where they are in contact with the land on which their ancestors were born. And it's a really important aspect in the identity of our First Nations people. And I'm really feeling that in regards to the African Americans, that they don't have a cultural history of knowing where they came from. And there is science that's coming out that shows that this cultural history is passed on within our DNA. So it's very convoluted. So I'll just bring you down again. Sorry, I'll hop off my soapbox. But there is more to this than just money. It's about cultural identity, discovering where you are from and the history of where you are from. We've got the Queen of Cups out of this abuse. She is the emotionally mature queen. It's not the King of Cups, so it's not the Biden administration, but it's an emotional topic that is still yet to be fully explored. There's been those in US politics that are wanting slavery deniers and wanting to stop the teaching of the slavery era, which, we're talking about 250 years worth of American history here. But it is time. It is time that this was acknowledged. It's time that it was brought to attention. It is of its time. Crowning this reading, not crowning, the karma hanging over it. I'm going to say here, it's not the plan coming to fruition, it's the plan in progress about which path forward do we take. And it's a global question as well, because we're talking US, Australia, Canada, uh, African countries where this slavery was undertaken. So it's a global conundrum that is in process here. But we've got the Star of Hope and Healing, which gives me great comfort there. There is it's time, it's being looked at, the Star of Hope and Healing. Okay, going forward, we've got the literally stealing of the truth in regards to this, which is ongoing. My GOP infighting card, the fighting about, well, why should I be held accountable for something that happened 200 years ago, or 150 years ago? To be honest, slavery was enacted longer than it hasn't been. But there's this round and round and round fighting. Why should I be paying for something that I wasn't responsible for? Oh boy, bringing forth the compassionate strength, the feminine strength, and the Hermit card, the investigation, the introspection. The introspection. I'm not getting, there's no easy answer here. There's no easy answer. What we've got is the Four of Swords, the truth in retreat. However, we have a court case here. Actually, there's a court case going to be settled shortly about a massacre that happened. I did glance at it. I didn't write anything down about it, but we're talking about a repatriation court case for a massacre of a number of African Americans by a white mob back in, I think it was 1916 or something along those lines. That court case is about to be settled. Just not wanting to pay out money. However, we have the Empress, the birth of something new, the Emperor, patriarchal energy. But yeah, we've got here defending against payout and restriction. I'm not looking at that court case particularly, but I'm feeling that there will be an argument about the payout because it will set a precedence. It's not an easy answer. I might grab my intuitive deck. This is the image on the back. My beautiful artist, I've got a number of her works, Valerie Maude, Maude. So let's have a look. Show me the path forward in regards to the energies around the repatriation bill. Show me the path forward in regards to the energies around the repatriation bill. The path forward. The path forward. Entertainment only. Sorry, I didn't flip my little card out. The path forward in regards to the repatriation bill. Path forward in regards to the repatriation bill. There's no easy answer here because it's been all those that were affected have now, all those that were directly affected have passed on. But we are talking about the intergenerational wealth gap that has been caused by enforced slavery. Show me that one. Okay. Right. Well, the first card out was wealth. It was the wealth that was made on the back of slaves. Huge wealth made on the back of slaves via sugarcane, cotton, you name it. Pardon me. And then we have here, I'm going to say this is was it the American Revolution that got rid of slavery, the masculine energy, the patriarchal, the slave owners. Okay. Unity, the loss. What have we got coming up here? Okay. I'm going to say there's going to be unified acknowledgement of this loss under leadership. What the change will come slow, but there will be some sort of contract or agreement or bill signed up. It will be watched internationally, and I'm going to say spot on, and it's going to be supported by the masses. That's what I'm getting here. There's going to be a unity acknowledgement of the loss by those that the wealth gap for those that were descendants of slaves. So let's see how this is going to go. Okay, so we've got here, no, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be conflict in regards to this, but we're going to see so there is happiness. Sorry, that's my dog scratching his collar, his cone of shame. He has a skin issue at the moment. We've got him on medication and giving him baths, but hopefully he'll be right by the weekend. There will be happiness in this acknowledgement, but it'll also bring about conflict. Why should I pay for, that sort of energy? But we will end up with a rebuilding where this will be put to rest. Put to rest. It's not the rebuilding being put to rest. This issue will be put to rest thanks to the bravery of people like Corey Bush, that will bring about transformation. And I'm going to say the boys' club of those who made the wealth will be broken down, because here we've got the loyalty card. Rise of the feminine energy, discussion about their strengths. We've got the anger of those, the greed, pretentious. I'm seeing that there might be a tax or some sort of levy put on the really wealthy. They're not going to be happy about it. I mean, how many billions do you need, to be honest? But they're not going to be happy. But I'm seeing some sort of levy being put on the uber wealthy to pay for this because of the abundance. We've got coming forward fairly fast. The crossroads discussion about this is going to come forward very fast. Unhappy, communication, families, intergenerational. So there'll be some sort of communication for those that come from these families that were in this slavery situation. That's going to, okay, yeah, okay. It's almost like it's going to come out of the blue for them. There'll be a lot of people the 40 million descendants, who are not aware this discussion is even taking place. but it will be some form of giving help in response to this devil energy. So literally slave owners that held these people down due to slavery, and the poverty will be stopped. I've got the fought with love. I've got the yes card. I've got the no card as well, but because of prevention of freedom is what I'm getting there. It is time. We've got the flip coming, and we have the angelic. Okay, so there is going to be some sort of arrangement. It's not going to be an easy path. There's still going to be this squabbling going on. But I see actually strong leadership bringing this forth. Um, and it is time. It's time. It's time that the truth was shown. It's time it was brought forward. It was time it was acknowledged. And I do see something happening here. The money card didn't come out. It's not going to be a cash handout. I'm not sure quite what it's going to be. On the bottom, we've got, yeah, it's time. And it may feel like it's a drop in the ocean, but every drop in the ocean matters. Every drop in the ocean matters. So there's something coming here. I can't tell you what it is. I don't see it as just a cash handout. I'm glad I'm not the one that has to work it out. Okay, love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.